President Oaks said this: "I was saddened but not surprised that the news coverage of the truth about the forgeries and lies of Mark Hofmann was small by comparison with the early trumpeting of the claims that his newly discovered documents destroyed faith, compromised church leaders, and rocked the foundation of the church." In the course of this episode, we have seen some of the most sustained and intense LDS church bashing since the turn of the century. Unfortunately, I think we've outdone that period. Third lesson. So the media, be very careful. And if that's true, these were print media. These were supposedly respectable journalists who are using, if they're going to get it wrong, what do you think your buddy on Reddit or some blog is going to do? Third thing, critics then and now exploit human nature. Hoffman was the source of all the stuff about the First Presidency Vault. And they said, what was the deal with that? He said, if there's a characteristic, this shows how kind of sociopathic Hoffman is. He says, I'm getting philosophical now. There's a characteristic of human nature that if something is unknown, people imagine the worst. That's basically how it is with the First Presidency's vault. People imagine that everything is in there and that it's being kept in there to cover it up by the church or whatever, which I don't believe is true. But people like to imagine all kinds of interesting skeletons in the closet. And so it's this very manipulative, and so he took advantage of that, unfortunate human tendency. If something seems to be true, it becomes accepted as true. It becomes true. I mean, that's a pretty cynical way to look at the world. It probably encapsulates Hoffman's attitude. You just have to make things appear to be true, and then they, quote unquote, become true. Hoffman said this: "As far back as I can remember, I have liked to impress people through my deceptions. Fooling people gave me a sense of power and superiority." He later admitted he created material to embarrass the LDS Church, hoping it would pay large sums of money to keep them private. So that was Hoffman, but there are plenty of other people these days with evil intent who want power and superiority and money to attack the church and your faith. So be